What's up, Frank?
Good, Coach. They weren't too tired today after that two-a-day, were they?
They didn't behave that way. The guys were ready to get after it, and we had another spirited practice. We pushed them really hard. If they're not the sorest tomorrow that they're going to be all year, then I haven't done my job. So we made sure they're going to be nice and sore.
Curious with the 5-on-5s today, what are things that just you're looking at when you're watching? You're like, are you watching individual play, or are you watching just overall how guys react to each other? What's your points that you're
Yeah,
observing?
I'm watching the system more than anything, and just really trying to give real-time accountability to the habits that we're trying to build. There's always film the next day, and that'll be a big accountability piece for us. But you don't get to have a lot of live action practice throughout the regular season where you can blow the whistle, stop, teach, correct. So we try to get as much of that in as we can now.
When I was asking Josh about the amount of length you guys have defensively, he said it's like a jungle in there whenever he drives right now. How do you as a coach maximize through your principles and your schemes the extra bit of length you guys seem to have?
Well, you still do it all the same. You still coach it all the same, but the length just makes it better. And especially on the defensive side of the ball. We do want to encourage our guys to be active on the boards, to use our length. But speed and length is going to be, a strength of ours. It's how we're built. Our mindset of physicality will be there, but we know we're not going to be the biggest, strongest team out there. But you can still be the most physical team, even if you're not the biggest and strongest. And that's going to be our approach.
For the uneducated, can you just explain as a defensive mind how much that extra bit of length can help you guys?
Yes, so obviously at the basket, with dissuading shots and grabbing boards, but also the length in the perimeter. We want everybody down in a stance in their gaps and shrinking the floor. And if there's less driving lanes because we got longer dudes out there, it's just tougher for opposing offensive players to think they can get to the basket. And then obviously contesting shots on the perimeter. And you got the length that we have, flying at shooters to contest, makes things more difficult as well.
Coach, after winning the championship with the Lakers, what do you bring here to the Suns? Is it a different team, a different environment, a different landscape, so to speak? Do you bring anything from that experience here to the Suns?
Yeah, I think the championship was the result of what of the work we put in and the system that we have and the culture that we build with the Lakers. But I think the system and the culture is what we try to bring here. And we know that in the right environment with the right talent level and the right pieces fitting, that it can lead to a championship. But there's a strong belief in our culture being defined as the way we do things, both how we go about our business on and off the court, but the on the court culture of our defensive scheme, our offensive system. We try to have as many answers as we can for whatever we're going to encounter, and we try to tie all the strings together. Hopefully with the talent that we have here, putting that type of talent in the culture that we know can win a championship will deliver this city its first.
Josh had told us about the first time you guys met in Chicago in an elevator years ago, and
Yeah.
you had gotten on and told him you loved his game. Is he
Yeah.
a guy that you had kind of looked from afar and been like, that's the type of guy I would have to coach?
I love his game. I do. I told him that years ago, and I think I told him that yesterday as well, just as a little reminder of that elevator meeting. I love tough-minded, athletic dudes. That play extremely hard, play with a high motor. Those guys change games. And I love what he can do as a point of attack defender. He seems to be able to strip anybody that he wants to strip because he has great hands. But how he runs the floor, how he attacks off the bounce, and how he crashes the boards, is also going to help us as well.
What kind of things? When you were in LA, you went up against Nurkić a lot. What kind of problems did he create for you guys?
Yeah, physicality. He's one of the guys on our team that should most nights be able to dominate his matchup with physicality, and that's the one thing that I love about him. Obviously, he's a great passing big man. He's got a great feel for that stuff. We can throw it to him in the post, and he can score on his own, and then he can finish in rolls as well. And obviously, he's played a lot over the last few years in the pocket when Dame's getting double teamed, and we have guys that are going to draw that type of attention as well. So he's very experienced there. And then defensively, just the size at the basket and being an elite defensive rebounder, is going to help us secure the boards and get our guys out on the break.
Have you had a big that passes like he does?
Yeah, I mean, I've coached a long time, so I mean, we've had a lot of different levels of it. The guy that comes to mind most probably is Marc Gasol. He's a guy that we really wanted to throw the ball to and pass and move. Vooch in Orlando was really good at that. Roy Hibbert, was underrated, as a passer. Back then we played a lot through the post more than the top of the floor. But he could dime guys up, and and obviously AD can do it all. So we've had some, throughout my career. But Nurk's one of the better ones that I've coached for sure.
Was that Coach Jim O'Brien that was here?
Yeah.
Today? How was it seeing him?
Seeing him, it's great. He's one of my closest friends, my mentor in every sense of the word. He's shown me the type of person that I want to be. We connected very early in my life when I went to Kentucky as an undergrad student. And mentors, they always mentor you, and they teach you and they show you the way, but they're not always in position to give you the actual promotions, to move you up and advance your career. And he did that all the way through. And, I owe my whole career to him. So it was important to me to have an opportunity to, now that he's not with the team and retired, to bring him out and get him back in the gym and in the coaches' meetings and picking his brain and using his mind and his insight on what we're doing and how we can be better.
When you think about your career, he recommended you to replace you at Indiana. When you think about that now, you're like, man, that was a huge part of what you ended up as a coach.
It's incredibly unselfish. A lot of people can, get in their feelings, if they know there's going to be a coaching change, and he understood, that there was a possibility that year, and really set the stage with Larry Bird for me to be a guy that he should really consider to take over if there was a coaching change, if one was needed. And it reached that point, and I even remember getting the call from Larry and telling Larry adamantly that he's making a mistake, that Obi's going to turn it around. Like, just give us more time. I don't want to be the coach. I think Obi should be the coach. And before Larry could say a word, Jim O'Brien jumps in and says, "Frank, it's me. I'm on the call too. I'm in here with Larry, and this is the right thing for this team, and you should stop talking and accept the job."
Wow.
So, I'll always be grateful for Obi.
Frank, in which ways do you see Vogel impacting this team in game?
Yeah, well, he's unique. He's as unique as any player in the NBA, and he's got perimeter skills. But I do think that he's going to play. We like to use him more as a 4-5 on this team. Potentially play on the perimeter around a big. Potential giant lineup of Durant, Bol in the center. But I also think that he could be a small ball center where we can mix pitches, and he can bring a lot of perimeter skills to the center position that not a lot of guys at his size have. Yeah.
Coach, has there been any players that have stood out to you from a leadership standpoint so far?
Yeah, I think I think Book obviously is understands that with the change in the roster, and us being different from a leadership structure than we were the last few years. He's had to step up and be more vocal, and I have seen that. But obviously, he leads more with his example, and as does KD. KD is a big time tone setter with how hard he goes in all his individual work, all his practices. It's really, really impressive. And then Brad has been both a vocal leader and a lead by example guy as well. And the other guy that I would say is worth noting that I think is going to be important from a leadership standpoint is Eric Gordon. Right, he's really seen a lot in this league. He's somebody that everyone respects, for who he is as a guy, what he stands for, and I think he'll have a strong voice in our locker room as well.
Thank you, Frank.
Okay. Yep. Thank you, guys.
At the end of the day, go because I assume you guys got some 5-on-5 in, saw some reps. I'm curious, after a 2-a-day, how was practice today?
Being competitive, a lot of guys getting, know each other, especially for me, probably the newest guy here with a few guys. But enjoying, man, it was really fun. I look at yesterday and today I'm coming down, down the floor and Devin Booker has the ball and I'm running and see like playing pick and roll with D-Book. But at the other corner I got KD and then Bradley Beal. I'm saying, God damn, man. It's kind of crazy when you think about it, but the spacing and everything, I just, as a big and as a someone who loves passing, it just, it's really fun to be out there.
Curious, you just spoke to it, but just being out there with those three, I know you talked about it in media day, but when you're actually out there, what's that been like for you? See the possibilities and what can happen.
I mean, not just there on three, like everybody else, like Eric Gordon, like Nas, and everybody. Like I feel like a lot of shooting out there. It just, I felt like one possession was I was in the post, and I'm like, there's really no one around me, man. Like it's amazing. We have to drill it. Obviously, we have to show up and work, but I can see, being really good in offense and defense, how much length we have, and but obviously we have to work in.
They say imitation is the best form of flattery. The Denver Nuggets won with Jokic at the big man spot, a playmaker, so to speak, as well as you are. So you come here to the Suns. Can the argument be made that they brought you in here as kind of like a role that Jokic plays with the Denver Nuggets as far as a facilitator in a certain way?
I don't know, man. You gotta ask Coach Frank about what he thinks. I can't speak on his behalf, but I'm who I am. I feel like I can really pass the ball. Sometimes maybe too much, but I'm enjoying what I'm doing. The best I can. But here is like I'm enjoying to play around and not even looking at the basket yet. It's just how much fun you have, and when you compete and when you see KD and his age compete at the highest level and working hard, like it's just amazing. What they put together, from the owner to the coach, GM, like it's just amazing to see all these people around us and support us in the biggest key. Yeah.
Can you talk about playing with so much talent? This is probably the most talented team you played on. Being in that role as a possible facilitator, what does it mean to you, knowing that you will probably have a larger role in this offense?
I mean, I still try to act normally, man. We have too much power out here. It's really fun for me. I don't know how to act yet as far as going on the floor and try to act normal with these people, like just to play. But I'm trying to learn them as a human being too. So for me, basketball, it will figure out. Like we are too smart to not. I'm trying to pick it up the brain from the coach and what he wants me to do on the defensive end, and he just implement the system. But talent-wise, man, I'm super ready, super excited. Like even preseason feel like a season for me right now. I just want to be out there, like talking with D-Book. We just want to hoop.
When it comes to establishing the defense, Bradley mentioned yesterday the big man is the quarterback, and you're calling things out. How much are you emphasizing communication this early in the season?
Big time. I feel like start with me, but like everybody else, they have to be in the stands, like Beal said. He have to be challenge for himself, but we're going to challenge everybody. As a teammates, we're going to challenge each other to do the best. And I think personally, I don't see issue. They accept and challenge. Today on a practice, like Devin Booker was really guarding people, like always playing the stance and challenging. So I think for us, and personally for those three group of guys, they know what it takes, especially at this point of their career, they're really ready on.
You had elite pick and roll chemistry with Dame. You've got three guys of that caliber now to figure that kind of stuff out. What are those initial conversations like where it's like, I like the angle of the screen here, on the handoff I'm looking for this, like what are those talks like with those guys?
I mean, it's simple. They're going to be open. Right? For me, I have somebody who can't really shoot like, probably Dame type of range and not even, disrespect to no one, but I give defensive player one option. You can go under. So I feel like for me, it's easy, but obviously we just have it 2 days in, and we're gonna figure out. We have to work, and I think we have a great 2 days behind us.
You talk about the chemistry, getting that chemistry. Have you guys done anything off the court as a team to kind of develop chemistry and get to know each other better?
I mean, we've been here so much that I don't know. Maybe through the night we can join, but no, right now not. I think we're gonna go on the road and kind of get together. As far as plan right now, I think we're gonna be in Detroit and team dinner. But as far as off-floor stuff, I think he's gonna come. I think right now, especially this week in training camp, we have to be here, man. We have to do what is, best for us and train in the highest level to be, the best.
Your leg injury in 19, how difficult was it just to go through that and come back from it?
I mean, so far, last 5 years ago, I don't feel anything. Like I feel like it didn't happen. For me, mentally, I've been through so much that I don't struggle with that. But as far as I'm concerned, like there's nothing to bother me. So I'm really to myself. I'm just trying to be, pick up the brain from these players and try to see how they like to play. I feel like with all these three guys we have, Bill, Book, and KD play different. So I'm trying to, help them and make an easy life for them.
You had mentioned wanting to pick Frank Vogel's brain on the defensive end a little bit. How has that process kind of been early on?
I mean, so far great. I think Frank, I love his communication. Like he's very open-minded and speaking, through the practice and when we have water breaks. And, I feel like for me that's really helpful. What type of mistakes or what I'm doing good, what he wants me to do. Like for example, offensive rebounds more and stuff like that. So I think, as far as I'm concerned, it's really good so far. So
how important is that opportunity to just kind of get up and down, especially playing with a big three like this? And
I mean, I don't know how to act yet, man. For me, it's like being part of a super team like this and super, organization right now is really believing and put us in a great spot. And I'm really excited for it. I think personally, I love it every bit second. But as far as leagues go, no one cares. We got to show up and do it. Everybody believe they have the best of the best, and that's what we are. So I think we have that. We have the talent. No one can, doubt that. But we have to go out there and play extra.
How crazy is it that you are going to have 2 preseason games against your former team right after?
Both former teams, right? I mean, usually that's how it goes. I feel like first time I got traded, I feel like it was the 3rd game playing against Denver or something like that. So I'm okay there, man. I have so much fun and great years and great relationship in the organization in Portland that I love so many people there and respect there. So, being said that, thank to, Jody and, ownership and whole organization to put them in the spot they put. So they agree on those. So I have no bad feelings, man. There's going to be much love there, Obviously, we'll see when Dame come around what's up with that. But nothing but love there for sure.
Jusuf, you had like a short time to adjust to being here, but how excited compared to all the other training camps in the NBA career were you for this one?
It's different, man. I feel like it's just being in perspective what, went down in the summer with my, ex-team and finishing here in Arizona. It's just like, obviously I understand how the league works. This is my 10th year, but it's still surreal. Like it's kind of, I don't know, you fell asleep in Oregon, you wake up in Phoenix, and that's how it felt. Like I was traded Wednesday, Thursday, I was, in Arizona, and how fast going is I'm trying to process and enjoy the moment. But for me, as long as I have a son, I'm good, man. And we have plenty of that here, so I'm be okay. So.
That's correct on that.
Yep.
Thanks, man.
Thanks,
Appreciate you.
Thank you, Nurkić.
Thank you.
Added to it. Before last night.
Rookie year with Tibbs. Yeah,
That
probably.
falls right in line with the defensive part of Vogel.
Yeah, but it was cool though.
Okay.
Yeah.
How were the legs today, considering you guys got some up and down with referees?
Legs are cool. We did some conditioning, a lot of conditioning leading up to training camp, so appreciate that. Everybody's pretty up to speed.
Have you enjoyed the process of getting to know some of the new guys on the team?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the best parts about basketball, besides winning, is learning your teammates and being able to connect with them on and off the court.
I know you're familiar with Book and KD, obviously, but how's it been kind of learning tendencies with Bradley Beal? And I know they've used you as a screener and a roller in the past as well.
Yeah, I mean, those guys have been here, like Brad been here months before training camp. So, I've had a chance to connect with him, see how he plays, see which ways I can make him be more effective, necessarily getting his open shots, seeing how I can help him get the shots that he likes to get. So it's been easy during training camp because we already been through that transition kind of.
What have you seen from Jusuf so far these last 2 weeks?
He's a hell of a passer. He's a big body. His presence is there. He's vocal, likes to teach. I seen him grab Bowl a couple times today and, kind of instruct him, like, instead of doing this, do that. This is a veteran, who's been around winning, throughout his career. So to get him here is great.
He joked to us that as a defender, he leaves them one option as a screener, which is to go under. Can you confirm that and try to get around a screen so far?
I got around every screen he said on me today, so.
We'll relay that back to him. Appreciate that. When it comes to establishing good habits defensively early as a team, what are some of the main things for the team to focus on?
Just getting the rules and everybody being on the same page. The hardest thing is, everybody on this team probably didn't play under Frank Vogel yet or before their career or last year. So here, just learning what he likes and learning his scheme and just keep drilling it so everybody's on the same page. So whatever we see on the court, everybody is speaking the same language.
Seems like he wants to be aggressive and versatile at the same time. Certainly suits what you do defensively. Right?
Yeah, 100%. Today we got after it, made plays, but I'm starting to see everybody, trying to take it personal, and everybody's kind of keen on defense, which is great for us as a team.
I was in New York and also Chicago when Coach Tibbs was coaching the Bulls in New York, and the training camps were pretty intense. I know you've been here not that long ago, but are there any comparisons between the two, both the defensive coaches, both like to grind it?
Yeah. I say Coach Vogel is like half and half. He's like that sweet tea lemonade mix. He has the attention to detail element that Tibbs is going to have, and he has that approach of Tibbs, but he also understands, we want to preserve everybody's legs. So he does his in a very effective and efficient way where everybody gets the point, everybody gets the message, but we're not, killing ourselves at the same time.
Josh, how would you say that your mindset has changed from last year's training camp to this year's training camp?
Not really much. I kind of go into training camps with the same intent every year.
Josh, you guys will see Monty for the first time on Sunday, a guy that meant a lot to the team and to you specifically. Just can you take us through what he meant to you over the last year and how he helped you grow as a player?
Yeah, Coach Monty helped me grow as a player and a person. I remember y'all last year, when I broke my nose, he was the first one to call me. He was like, man, I hated that you did that, man. You were just getting rolling. You had 3. Like, he was excited about what I was doing on the court, and just, if you need anything, let me know. Make sure, take your time getting back. And just always, if I'm having a bad day, having a bad game, he's the first one saying, keep your head up, young buck. That's how that's how he like to talk. But yeah, being able to see him this weekend is going to be great. Just to give him a hug, catch up a little bit. But, we still mean business when we go over there.
Were you surprised when the news came down, given all he had achieved, or have you been around the league long enough to know, you can expect anything?
Say that again?
Were you surprised when Monty got let go, given what he had done?
And Coach Bud, he won a championship a couple years ago. They let him go. So it really wasn't surprising, because anything can happen. But I was a free agent at the time, so my concern, making sure I was straight, you feel me?
That's a good point, yeah.
But he's in a better position. I mean, he see what he got, so I wouldn't be too mad if I was him either.
I'm guessing a few of you guys are going to mention that to him on Sunday when you see him.
Yeah, Coach, I need a piece of that.
I know last year when we talked to Mikhail, he was talking about the summer runs that you guys had and looking at you and being like, oh yeah, I know that guy can do things defensively like me. Have you had something similar, kind of like with Jordan Goodwin, another guy that likes to get after it on that end?
1,000%. Even him and Saban. Saban out there, he's been making plays on the defensive end. Jordan, when he's been making plays on the defensive end as well. I'm trying to make a little group called a Pitbull group and trying to send them group texts out. So I think those two are for sure going to be in the group text for sure. So I'm out here trying to do some recruiting.
Anybody else for sure?
It's training camp. We still, evaluating.
Josh, how do you see Vogel impacting the team on both ends of the floor?
I mean, his versatility is, out the sky. His length, being able to be in the paint, block a three-pointer, or be on a three-point line and block a layup, it's crazy on the defensive end. And also offensively, when you give him the ball with space or even in congestion, he's able to just reach around everybody and put the ball in the hoop. So I definitely think that, that's going to be very vital to our team.
To him being brought up, just what's it like for this team with all NBA teams are long to a certain extent, but this one it feels like you got so many guys, including yourself.
Yeah, even when I drive, it's like a jungle in there. So I can only imagine what other teams are going to be seeing when we're playing. So it's a great feeling to have.
Hey, Josh, what can you say about what you've seen from Grayson Allen so far with him coming over here? Is kind of a similar kind of player to you, scrappy and same kind of height?
Yeah, Grayson, he's been shooting the ball very well, being a guy aggressive, attacking the basket, being a guy that everybody knows him to be. So, I'm excited for, how he's going to play this season.
Thank you, Josh.
Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate it.